For the vote, Mr. Gohmert is recognized.
Thank,
He's got another amendment.
yeah.
That amendment's fine. He's got another amendment.
Oh, the amendment is agreed to. For what purpose does Mr. Gohmert seek recognition?
He doesn't have an amendment.
The gentleman has an amendment. The clerk will report the amendment.
Mr. Chairman, I reserve a point of order.
Point of order is reserved.
Amendment to the amendment in the nature of a substitute to H.R. 8227, offered by Mr. Gohmert of Texas, page 1.
Without objection, the amendment is considered as read, and the gentleman is recognized for 5 minutes to explain the amendment.
Thank you. This does fix a problem that makes this what should be considered unconstitutional. Although there are times I think this committee may be the smartest committee in the country. It's certainly
Point of
not
order,
true.
the gentleman in the press will note that.
It's certainly not true all of the time, and sometimes maybe it's not a majority of the time, but we cannot disregard the federal Constitution and this bill, and I'll vote for it if we can make an amendment to fix the problem here, and that's what my amendment does. Instead of saying in which conduct is alleged to have violated federal, tribal, or state law, we've got no right as the federal government to step into state law and say, look, we're not even going to talk about a nexus to federal authority. We're just going to jump in and say, all your state laws and state lawsuits over this area, we're superseding them. Unless, of course, as it says in the next paragraph, unless, of course, you have a provision that's just what we dictated or more stringent. That's not our right. In state disputes involving state law, it's up to the states, and we should not step in and, well, it's overstep in and exceed our authority. This needs to be a good law that's not overturned down the road, that so that litigants that have been through the horrors of sexual harassment, sexual assault, don't find out that their lawsuit got overturned because this committee took authority it didn't have in state lawsuits. So if we can back up and say, look, this will only apply to conduct alleged to have violated federal or tribal law, then we're clearly within our authority. It will never be reversed on that basis that it violates the Constitution, usurps authority we don't have, and then once we make it clear, and actually I noticed under B part, it probably should say this act shall not be construed to supersede a provision of state law regarding claims under state law. But nonetheless, we have got to make clear this is not an overreach by the federal Judiciary Committee. This is doing what we have authority to do under the Constitution. That's all my amendment does. And if the amendment is passed and accepted, I'll be able to vote for the bill. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back.